Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a video in response to Charleston White video about he made about Kevin Samuels. He kept, cracking jokes at Kevin, saying that he's, loose wrist, and basically just insinuating. He called him the choir director. If you black and you've been around church, that calling somebody the male choir director just basically just insinuate that somebody is homosexual or bisexual or something like that, or less manly. So the take I got from the from Charleston White video is that you there's different types of men out there. I got uncles that dress fly, suave in suits, and I got uncles that dress like just like they on the corner, street dudes. And then I got uncles like in between. It's different ways to dress and act and behave. Kevin Samuels is an educated man, older man. Been married twice. He has certain mannerisms, kind of like if you ever been in college, like the Kappas. I would say he gives off a Kappa vibe, whatever. You have guys that have these types of mannerisms and stuff like that. Even certain pimps, that that dress crazy and have like feminine characteristics or what. I'm not even gonna call it feminine. More like a smooth, slick talking characteristics. There are men out there that that like to dress up, and I think the argument of saying somebody's gay just because of the way they dress, you really can't do that no more because the the street killers, they out here wearing skinny jeans with their knees showing, with like long dreadlocks, and wearing Gucci and and Burberry and all this other crazy stuff. All that other stuff, that was black, that was gay culture, for a male to wear things like Gucci, the flip flops and all this other stuff, Louis Vuitton. That once upon a time was gay culture, like in the '90s and probably like early 2000s. But once people like Ti and Gucci Man started coming out, these guys live in Atlanta. What's the other dude's name? That raps with Ti. Young, man, what's his name? All right, I can't think of his name right now. Young Dro, yeah, Young Dro. If you look at the way Young Dro dress, and he a street dude, but if you in Atlanta, you're gonna be heavily influenced by the culture there, and one of the main cultures, other than black excellence and black education and the colleges around there and the history, one of the cultures is gay cultures around there. So if you look at the way Young Dro dressed, he could not. Young Joe couldn't come to the Source Awards in the '90s dressed the way he did when he came out, or the way he even dressed now. The polos, the buttons. You couldn't, the crazy colors. You couldn't dress like that. You'd have been called gay, a clown. They probably, beat you up, all this other stuff. And I think that even if Kevin is, bisexual or gay or something like that, does that have anything to do with the message that he's putting out there? Is he lying or is he spitting facts? For the most part, when I listen to Kevin's broadcast, I agree with what he's saying because women always tend to put themselves first. They tend to think that they don't need a man for nothing. They devalue hardworking guys, as you see from see how Sweetie Pie treated Quavo. She basically was just saying, "Oh, it cost to be with me, and he wasn't keeping up with the payments, so it's over." That's the most disgusting, nastiest thing a woman can do. After you've been in a relationship with somebody, you come out the blue talking to some strangers, just saying, "Oh," she basically was saying the only reason why she was with him because he had money. Relationships shouldn't be based on relationships shouldn't be solely based on does this person have bukus of money, because that's not realistic. If you're it has average women thinking that they deserve an Idris Elba millionaire. Nah, you don't. The guy that's, works at the tire shop down the street is perfectly fine for your situation, and he needs to be your king. You need to treat him like as such. Women will sit up there and pass up on the good guys in high school, and then and in college ages they'll pass up. When they're in their 20s, they'll pass up the good guys. And they sit up there, especially black chicks. They just have kids about all these different thugs, dudes in and out of jail all the time. What we perceive as masculinity, that ain't masculinity, man. Look how Charleston White, dressed. He got to be like, either if he not 50, he got to be close to it. And look how he dressed. He walking around here, hair looking crazy. Well, he done fixed it up now because he got a little bit of money. But he dressed like he on the block. Is that how a man's supposed to dress? Or he everybody got their own way of dressing. And I don't think you should judge somebody like that just because of how they dress or because of how they act. A lot of people be mad at Charleston White because out crazy, outlandish shit he say. But I don't agree with Charleston White all the time. But he does have some very good points when he goes to talking about how there's nothing good coming out of these gangs, and how we always mad at each other and killing each other. But when there's problems with somebody else in a different race, people get kept quiet. Which I'm not saying violence shouldn't be the answer for anything, but people do people do tend to want to harm people that look like them first, which I don't get that. At least black people do. So so say you go into a club. Say if you're a black person and you got three white friends with you and one Mexican friend. Say y'all go to a club and say it's like 30% blacks in the club, and most of those dudes are males, and then everybody else is like Caucasian and sprinkling some Asian stuff here and there. Say you're in a place like LA. When you go inside the club, the packs and groups of black dudes is gonna look at that one black guy. They gonna look past the three white dudes you with. They gonna look past the Mexican guy you with. They gonna size you up and try to test you that night. Just crazy stuff. Which is why I stopped going out at a earlier age, because I'm not. Why would I go? Why would I keep putting myself in danger, or risking my freedom because I didn't probably had to because I didn't had to pull the strap out and lay somebody down because they got drunken courage and Hennessy in their system, and I got to release their soul. But yeah, that's both of these brothers have good points when they talking about stuff, and I don't agree the way Charleston White was going at Kevin talking about, women ain't gonna listen to no feminine man and all that stuff. I beg to differ. You know, I beg to differ because he got the audience, and whatever he's doing something right because majority of his listeners are women, and they calling into his show every single day, trying to get advice or trying to come at him about something. But I think Kevin does a good job of pointing out, faults on both sides, men and women. And everybody needs to get it together. But thanks for checking out the video, y'all. Peace out. Make sure you like and subscribe.